Hello, Scrappy friends. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. My name is Diane Gutierrez, and I am a Creative Memories advisor located in Southern California. So if you happen to be looking for an advisor, I would love to be that person for you. It doesn't matter if you're local to me or not, I can help you out. And if you happen to be looking to join a Creative Memories team and become an advisor yourself, I would love for you to consider joining my team as well. If you have any questions about any of that, you can always find my email address located on my Facebook page. And if you're later watching this on YouTube, it's always linked in all the descriptions of all my videos. So if you need anything, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And we are here today to do some scrapbooking. We're going to do some actual scrapbooking with some scraps today. So that's going to be fun. I am going to finish this today, and I'm going to file anything that's left over. I will file. So what I like to end a collection, I find a lot of joy in that, and I don't know if you do. I know some people, they like to keep it and then they know and they go back and they pull from it when they need it, or when photos come up, that would be perfect for it. And I like to finish it off, and when I get to a point where there's only pieces left, I then disperse those pieces throughout my rainbow system. When it comes to the teeny tiny scraps, we'll talk about that later. I'll see what I have left, and I will tell you how I'm going to handle and what I'm going to do with anything left over after today. I was saying this is the This Life collection. It came out last year. It's still available. I just checked this morning, and it looks like everything is still available. It came originally with two paper packs, a designer paper pack and a tone-on-tone paper pack, stickers, embellishments, matte cards, all that. And then later on they came out with the tone-on-tone rainbow, where it was the crafted rainbow. That's what it's called, crafted rainbow. And on one side it's a craft, and the other side it's a tone-on-tone piece of paper. So this kit started with a lot. So I'm going to go ahead. These are what I have left of the stickers. It also came with some alpha stickers. I didn't pull those out today because I won't be using them. And I'm hoping to make a good dent in these today, and then those will get filed. So I'll bring those back in when we're ready. And then here's what I have left. And I did have one piece of orange, a full piece, which I'm pretty sure I've already filed into my system because I'm not going to use it today. So you'll see I have a ton of little strips, which usually happens, right? We trim down our paper and we're left with this 1 to 2-inch strip left. So I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate too many of those. And then I have some big chunks here. Let's see. But here we go. I have all these that are pretty decent size. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the medium-sized pieces over here to the side. And then these bigger pieces, I'm decided that I'm not going to use these today. Well, maybe I'm going to pull it in. Maybe the yellow one, I think I might pull in to help offset some yellow. But anyway, I was trying not to use these or dip into these because these are nice big chunks that I could put into my rainbow scrap system. I know I can use these for sure on another layout. These are the ones I'm most concerned about because they're small. And if I don't use them today, then I have to make a decision of how I'm going to store it. Am I going to put it in my scraps? Am I going to take it over to my die cut machine, which I do quite often? I'll take a piece, and like this is actually a great example. And I would take this over and maybe cut out some leaves with it, or take some of my punches to these and make some small embellishments to have ready. So I have to make that decision. But other than that, if I don't have a plan and I don't want to store it, if it's too small, then it is going to go into the recycle bin. I kind of have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to do today. Okay, let's see. I know I have in here 2 strips of green. I'm going to build on white today, and I think white is really going to help these colors just pop because this is a nice, bright, bold collection. So I have these 2 strips. Now this one was already had a decorative edge to it, and this one didn't, but it looks like I probably have room to trim this one down to match that one. Then I had to decide what blade that is. I think it's Wave. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a edged treatment there. So let's see here. I'm just going to try and get as close to that as possible. I want the pieces to be about the same size. I don't want to take off too much. So Okay, there's one. Let's see how big this actually is. It is 1 1/4. Okay, there we go. That should be equal or as close to as we're gonna get with our scraps here. There we go. So we got that trimmed down and now my pieces match. I'm gonna bring this down. For now, I'm gonna probably put it right about here at the 10, which would be 2 inches down. Okay, let's continue going through. I really liked the orange. I have a bunch of pieces of the orange. Oh, I have a big piece here. So let's see. And my idea is to bring it up here. I think what I'm gonna do today is kind of a patchwork kind of look to this layout and just really try and get on as many of these different colors as I can and leave some white space behind. So I'm thinking go above my strip like this, and I don't have a full 12 inches, so I'm going to have to piecemeal this. So I will find, let's see, I want a little bit of white exposed, and so I'm gonna find just the right, I'm lining up these lines here because it's a checkered pattern, which is good. There we go. You see how I made it into one piece right there? So I'm gonna trim this one down. This is like a puzzle. When I'm working with scraps, it literally is just like building a puzzle. And I'm gonna trim this other piece down to be the same width. Do you guys like doing this? Do you like taking your scraps and trying to figure out a system for it? I think it's fun. And my sides look pretty close. Straighten out the top, and I'm gonna go with it. If it's not exactly, I think it's gonna be okay. There we go. So yes, I'm gonna have a seam right there. It's not gonna be that noticeable, I don't think, especially because it's the checkered piece. And then I can still play with this and bring it up or down. Now the other side, I do want to kind of keep the same. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have just a big enough piece. I am gonna have to cut into this piece. In fact, we'll start with that. We'll see how big this one is, and I don't need quite 4 inches. Okay. We'll cut it down to 3.5 and go with that. I think that's pretty good right there. Okay, something like that. Okay, so far so good. Now, I did have a nice big chunk of purple, and I only have this one big chunk and then some strips. The other side is that beautiful flower. So I have a choice here. I could trim it in half and put half on each side, or I can split it right down the middle and put half and half like this. So I think that's what I'm probably gonna do. And then I can either come right to the center and only leave the white exposed at the very top up there. Yeah, let's do something like that. The yellow, yeah, the yellow. Yellow's a tough one. That's why I might need to bring in that big piece because I have a nice size piece here and here. And I'm thinking over here, and I can go flush like this or like that. And then, yeah, this is where I'm gonna have to bring in the yellow. If I'm gonna run it off to here, then I wanna do the same thing on the other side. Let's just see how big this one is. It's a 6 by 4.5. And then let's put it like this and like this. Now this one I could flip over. It has dots on the other side. So you see how it brings in a little bit more texture. I like the stripes next to this print here, but the dots here almost look like this, makes this look like it's dots. Whereas if I turn and use the distressed piece, it'll look like that. And I do still have white here exposed, which I like. Okay, let's hold this aside. We might come back and change that up a little bit. Okay, let's try the red. I have a big chunk of red and a small chunk. Let's see how big this one is. It is approximately a little bit more than a 6 by 6. So if I cut it down to 3, oops, I need to go this way so my hearts will be going the right direction. I'm gonna go a tad over 3. like this, and then this one over there. There we go. Yeah, I think I like it. I think I do. I think that's what I'm going to go with. That's going to be my patchwork background. I kind of brought in a lot of those colors. It's going to get covered up with photos, so I think it's going to blend much nicer once I get my photos going. Let me grab my photos. I think I have six photos today. I brought in, I want to show you, we can add more. Now I printed these from home and I meant to print them at 3.5 by 5.5, but I think they actually printed at 5 by 3.5, which is okay. Not too bad. So let's see. I want to do, so my plan was to do 2 verticals here, but this one's smaller. And then I had 2 smaller photos that I wanted to put, so I printed them together. I still probably will trim those down a little bit and then put these horizontal photos off to the side, and I have 2. So this is just a little family get together. We happen to be re-celebrating my mother-in-law's birthday, but I have a whole 2-page spread on her birthday. So this is more about getting together with the nephews that we don't see very often. So I think these papers will be perfect for that. And then I am going to come back in here and trim this one down because I feel like it's not fitting as nicely. And then when I saw this printed on the white background, I did print some, or cut some photo mats. So let's see if we like it with photo mats. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. I'll keep it like that. So actually I got 7 photos on here, and I wanted to show, I brought in my little photo placement card because I feel like if I had more photos, which I don't have any more for this event, I could put it right up here, and I could even scoot this down more if I wanted to put like a 4x4 there, and same over here. I thought that was a pretty good place to be putting another photo or more. Now we're just going to start our embellishing. And this is what I have left from the embellishment. So I have a few mat cards left. Oh yeah, a mat card would look really nice up there too. This is probably photo too big, but anyway. I have a few mat cards left, and I have this one, if you remember, came with a lot of the words for the titles and things. I've had a lot of things from my die cut. It didn't have specific die cuts that came with it or embellishment, so I die cut a bunch from punches and from my die cut machine. Happen to have a little tag even. Yeah, and then the rest are pretty much titles. I did have this, which I think I'm going to try and use that. I had tried it out. I put it on some wax paper and then didn't use it on a different layout. So let's see if we can, maybe I'll use that for my title today instead of picking one of these. And this is all I have left from the mat cards. I'm pretty proud of that. These 2, I don't think I'm feeling it with, or 3, I guess. I'm not feeling it with today's layout, but they're fun. These will get filed right into my mat card stash and by color. And these are multicolor, so they'll go right into the multicolor section. Okay, so now I need to decide on a journaling box. And where am I going to put that? I'm going to probably see if I could scoot these in more and maybe put it off to the side here. So I have red. Maybe I'll come down. I could always put it up here. In that case, let's go ahead and put the green. Oh, too close to the other green. Green, we can go like this. It'll give me this part here. In fact, let's go ahead and move some things up. There we go. That just opened up my journaling spot a little bit more and brings in that green. So I like it there. Okay, let's see what we have. Cluster bases already, so that's good. That's good. Let's see. Probably gonna go right up here. It's a darker orange, so it works out pretty good. And put it right here. I can put it on top of the photo too because I have some dead space there, not showing anything except a wall. And then where's that title? Awesome. Since it's just a family get together, the word awesome works perfect. Okay, so I'll have some embellishment up here. And then for my other areas, of course, I'm going to come down here to my journaling area. I don't want to do too much down here, like on the box. So I'm going to have to probably come up to the side. So I have another cluster. I could either bring it up here or off to the side here. Yeah, I like that. So it lays flat so we can get a good idea. And I have a couple other smaller things. Oh, we could go orange up here, maybe coming out from the side of that photo. Yeah, I like that so far. Let's continue with that. And I'm just going to try and tuck these little pieces in and see where I can get them to fit and look good. I want to bring in some blue. I feel like it's kind of dark over here with the purple. Not so much blue, but that's okay. And maybe put the word awesome kind of overlapping all that. That's the slide reel punch. I just cut it up into little pieces. And I have one from the firework punch. I like that one. Looks like a sun up there. Let's tuck it maybe on this side. Again, to kind of bring all those together. I feel like I have a lot of orange going on, but let's see if we can use maybe one of these. Let's try the flower and just tuck it behind the circle. I don't know. I feel like I'm forcing it. Let's keep this one aside. That's okay. Any of these little embellishments that I don't use, I will definitely put into my little box here off to my side of miscellaneous embellishments and then dip in there every once in a while. I have this one tab from the tab punch, maybe up here, and then bring up the little doily so it looks like that. That's cute. Ladybug sticker. That must have just randomly got left in there. It's an old CM. There we go. Okay, that's for the little embellishments that were left over. So that's good. I did some good damage control with those. Okay, let's look what we have going on here with the stickers, because I have a bunch of miscellaneous stickers. I have the banners here. I was thinking would be great to get some of those on. And we have a bunch of hearts, stars, and some arrows. So let's see what we can do. Let's start with the banners. They're nice and big, and we'll bring in a pop of color. I'm gonna stay away from the orange one. And I'm just gonna start plopping them around. I feel like I have red with the ladybug here, red up here in that cluster. Maybe let's see if we want two up here. Or just move the ladybug up here and then move that there. It's just we're gonna have to get the idea. Okay, yellow. Again, I have yellow up there already. Let's see if we like it over here or up here. Let's move our little ladybug. And maybe tuck them out like this. Extend our cluster out a little bit more into our open space. So this is the part I love, just kind of tucking things around. I like it. Oh, you know what? We have one little balloon. Why not? It is kind of a birthday. We'll go just like that. Okay, what else do we have? The leaves I'll put in with my fall. Couple orange arrows, which are usually I would love, but I feel like I have a lot of orange on here. Thought there was a couple white arrows too, so I have to look carefully. I pulled off this green little asterisk sign because I will use that somewhere. And here's the white arrow. Probably put it just like that. I like how the two banners and then the arrow has the same cut, so it looks very cute. And this little green asterisk is fun. We'll do something like this, or maybe even up here. Okay, what else do we have? Bunch of stars. We can use those for finishing touches. They're tiny, and they're all the colors that we need. So perfect. Cute little sun. Let's get that one on there. I have some flowers. Let me do the flowers first. Let's take them all off. It looks like I've tried using them before because they're kind of popping off. And I'll just make a little bouquet. Maybe something like that. And I'm thinking I have this little spot right here. I'm going to have it coming out from the banner and overlapping into this bigger flower little area. That's cute. And then it's supposed to be a sun, but it kind of looks like a flower. So I think that's going to look great right there. Let's see. There's a lot of good ones here, actually. I'm going to use Picture Perfect. I actually would probably like it up here, overlapping all of that, and then maybe the ladybug could sit on top like that, something like that. I feel like I need words over here now. Oh, we are family. It's getting kind of crowded over here. Oh, how about there? Yeah, I like that. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm fussing over my choices here. Okay, so these words I'm just going to put right off to my side here. I will definitely be using these because I love all this kind of stuff. To add these little pops of words to our layout, I love doing that. So these I definitely will use, just not today. I'm thinking I like this purple one. And I'll probably put it right up here somewhere. Now remember, this is on wax paper, so it'll come off. And then maybe I'll tuck this one, something like that, and then put the word awesome across the top. Yeah, I'm so happy to be out using up this title. I will come back in with some stars for my finishing touches. So let's see what we're gonna do here. I'll bring one up here. I wanna bring in that turquoise color again. I think I liked it kind of touching, well, change my mind. Let's put it up here. See, when you find the place you know, it just drops it there. How about blue? And I think I'm gonna just kind of angle it like that. This one is really growing nicely. Where'd the balloon go? Here it is, and it's yellow, so that's good. Bring some color up there. Starburst thing and do something like that. Wow, I thought I was gonna bring in some punches too. I brought my firework punch here, but I don't think I'm gonna need it. Oh, you guys, there's a third balloon. I have to look all at once. What's going on here? Okay, that's all. Even if I find any more, I think 3 is a perfect number. Turquoise one in the middle and then the yellow one off to the side, something like that. I'll fix that up a little bit. You'll come back tomorrow. I'll post my finished layout for this one right up here. Do I have stars in every area? I feel like I have this one right here to get used. And a tiny purple one. Let's see. I like that. I'm going to take the tiny purple one. And then maybe I'll probably come back through and maybe pop this up onto some foam. I'm loving this one over here. Hopefully we'll keep it exactly like that when I go to adhere everything. And then this top one up here, I will have to do a little bit of work on that to get it exactly where I want it. But there we go. I went crazy on some of those, a little more crazy than I thought I was going to with some of those embellishment clusters, but I love it. And now all the scraps I have left, let me grab them. The bigger chunks for sure, those will get filed right into my scrap bin. I know I can use these. These are totally tonal, so they're very usable for layouts. I'll just put them by color. But when I get down to some of the small ones, like these are the ones I was saying I'm probably not going to keep. Although green is easy to make some leaves, but the strips, I just wasn't feeling like using strips today. Now some of these I keep for welding, so I can put this, I have a little stash right behind me with these 1-inch strips. These are perfect for welding, so I'll probably do that with these pieces. So that takes care of those. And then yeah, the rest I'm probably going to, these will get filed into my color bins. Here's a nice big chunk of orange, some more orange. But some of these other smaller ones, I'm gonna have to really consider if I want to punch something out of them or, like I said, into the recycle bin. I hope that you get some scrapbooking done and pull out those scraps and see what you can make. Kind of have to just look at your scraps and make it work for you. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.